If you're avoiding following up with people, it's because you're afraid. And what you're probably afraid of is something at an unconscious level. It's one of the two greatest fears. One is that I don't have enough. The other is that I'm not good enough. And that fear will kill your deals. See, follow-up isn't a threat. It's really your power play. It's a power play if you lead with belief and certainty. If you don't, your pipeline will stay full of almosts in one of these days that never convert. So let me show how you fix that. Follow-up isn't a separate phase of the sales. It is the sale. It's absolutely a key component of that entire process. If you delivered your message and you walked away hoping that they're going to call you back, you're not in sales. You're in the wishing game. See, sales is a leadership conversation that requires that you be the leader. There's a rhythm, there's a repetition, and there's a reinforcement that takes place in every single sales conversation. And you have to lead that. You have to set the rhythm. You have to set the repetition of when the next step is going to be. And you've got to reinforce the reason that they had the call with you in the first place. If you won't follow up, you're not holding space for them to make a decision. What you're doing is you're hoping that a space will open up in their calendar and that they'll grace you with their presence and give you the opportunity. See, that's not what leaders do. Leaders aren't in the hoping game. You don't need to be charismatic. You don't need to be over boisterous. You don't need to have all the tips and tricks. What you need to be is very clear. You have to have certainty. The "I'm just checking in" is really vague language. What you want to say is, let's connect Tuesday at 2:00. That's leadership. When you say, hey, well, let's just check in with each other next week, what you're announcing is that you don't respect your own time. Somebody says to me, hey, let's just connect next week. So next week is packed. I can't meet with you next week. My book is 90 days out. I can't just squeeze you in or find a spot. A true leader would never manage their time that way. They're going to go right for meaningful specifics, not wandering generalities. See, most follow-up fails because it's passive. And one of the reasons why it's passive is because you don't want to pressure the person. You don't want the person to feel that you're being pushy. You don't want to come across as salesy. You don't want to lead. Most follow-ups fail because they're passive, not active, and it asks for nothing, and it offers nothing, and you risk nothing, and then you gain nothing. What you want to do is you want to say what it is that you mean. You want to offer, this is the next step. You want to speak like someone who expects a decision. Chances are, if you've had a conversation with somebody, a discovery call, an intelligence gathering call, you've just invested your most precious resource, your time. You've given them your time. And now, for you to just walk away and hope that they think about it or that they check with somebody else and they get back to you, you don't stand a chance. You've got to be handling this like you absolutely expect a decision. So when they say, let's connect next week, you see, that's great. What day? What time? What day? What time? Let's nail this down now. I don't want a wandering generality. I want a meaningful specific. If your prospect has to guess what you're asking for or about, or what your level of urgency is, then you're not following up. You're not advancing the ball. What you're actually doing is you're backing down. You're going backwards. Now look, before you make your next follow-up call, I want you to grab a free resource. It's the Belief Upgrade Guide that I created for you. Because here's the truth. Your prospect doesn't just hear your words. They feel your energy. If your tone, if your pace, if your presence is even slightly misaligned, the whole message breaks down. And this guide is going to help you fix that. It'll walk you through how to reset your own internal state, even before you go to the follow-up. It's going to help you align your belief with the results that you want to make sure that they're congruent. And it's going to make the call from a place of calm confidence and grounded certainty. This is how professionals do follow-up. And if you've ever been ghosted, doubted, or just kind of left to just follow up or check in, this guide is going to change the way that you show up and the results that you get. So download it now. The link is in the description. And then I want you to come right back in. See, every follow-up call is a chance to realign with the original pain that your prospect has. It's also a chance for you to connect to the original desire that they had in the first place and to really align with the original outcome that they wanted. See, you're not just chasing for an update. You're helping them remember why they said yes in the first place. See, them saying yes to buying your deal is just part of the process of all the yeses they said beforehand. Yes, I'll fill out the form. Yes, I'll accept the call. Yes, I'll show up on the call. Yes, I'll give you all the details. Yes, I'll tell you what the problem is. Yes, I'll tell you what our outcome is. So now, why would you just say, well, I'll check back with you when you're ready? Why would you not go for that next yes? See, if they've gone cold, if they're ghosting you, you probably lost emotional connection. You lost that emotional thread. So you need to reconnect them to the reason that they reached out to you in the first place. You've got to resurface with that sense of urgency, and you have to re-earn the right to guide them through the entire process again. Follow-up isn't, do you have an answer yet? Were you able to talk to Jim? Are you ready to go? It's, hey, let's reconnect to the reason you called me in the very first place. See, rapport isn't something that happens in the first interaction with the client. Rapport is something that has to be maintained even when you're not talking to them. See, you want to never hang up a sales call without knowing the next commitment objective, about how that commitment objective is going to be achieved. You never want to hang up without knowing when and how the next contact is going to happen. If I don't hear from you by next Thursday, I'll reach out Friday morning. Sound good? That's actually rapport. That's not pressure. That's rhythm. That's leadership. See, you want to put the date in your calendar and you want to keep your word. When you don't follow through on your follow-up, you know what you do? You break trust. You break trust. And with them, trust is everything. And if you break it with them, you're also breaking it with yourself. So what you want to do is you want to be really clear about the agreements that you make. You want to communicate like someone who closes deals, not somebody who chases ghosts. A follow-up should never feel like you're starting all over again. If it does, you didn't close the last call with leadership. See, if you're calling from a place of fear or doubt or this place of desperation, would you please return my call? They feel it long before they hear it in your voice. Your tonality, your pace, your energy are saying words far more powerful than the spoken words that you use. So before you reconnect, you want to get grounded. You want to reconnect to what's the value you bring, what's the problem they have. You want to breathe back into that level of certainty, and then you want to pick up the phone. This isn't about fake confidence. You're not going to fake this until you make it. It's about being authentically congruent, that your belief in yourself, your belief in your offering, your belief in your value matches the behavior. You can't fake alignment. If your energy doesn't match the ask that you have, your follow-up just doesn't land. Look, here's what I've learned. After 30 years in sales, the moment you delay following up, you instantly create doubt. But when you lead with belief, with clarity, with this calm authority, your follow-up becomes the very moment you reclaim the sale. This isn't about checking boxes. It's not just a to-do list. It's about being the kind of person who finishes what they start. The kind of person who doesn't just hope for a yes, but holds space for it, who follows through with it, and who expects it. That's what it means to lead in sales. And that's the kind of follow-up that changes your business and it changes your life. Now, before your next follow-up, like I said earlier, go ahead and download the Belief Upgrade Guide. This isn't fluff. It's the exact process that I use to reset my own energy, to rebuild my certainty, and to reconnect to the results that I'm leading towards. Before I pick up the phone, I make sure that I walk through this entire process. And if you'll download the guide, it will walk you through how to upgrade your own frequency to get emotionally congruent with your ask so that you can follow up like a pro. The link is in the description. Go grab it now. And then I want you to watch the next video, 17 easy closing sales tips. And I'll show you exactly how to carry the same energy into your close so you're not just following up, you're closing with clarity, integrity, and results. I'll see you there.